Kansas State, you obviously lost two matches in a row that went 5 sets, and then you go on the road and do the exact same thing but get the opposite result. Did you learn something from the Kansas State matches that you took into the Kansas game? And does playing that many sets back to back in a row, does that take a toll on your team, or how do you think your team is feeling right now?
Yeah, we learned from the Kansas State match for sure. I mean, obviously, if we had come out with 2 victories, then it would have been awesome. But we didn't, so we did have to learn from that and make sure that it didn't happen again. But when you go and play in the 5th set, anything can happen. So any team can win, and we fought and we were resilient, and we never gave up. So I was proud of our girls and our team for doing that. And I'm hoping that we learn something, because if we don't, then shame on us. And to answer your second question is, yeah, it definitely takes a toll, especially when you're playing back to back and you go 5 sets 2 nights in a row. I mean, that's tough. But, our girls work hard. Our strength coach, Caitlin Sweeney, does a really nice job with them from a conditioning standpoint and a strength standpoint. So, I would like to think we're ready for everything or anything.
Next question's from Cody.
Coach, last week you told us you were hoping to go down and maybe just get 1 win from Kansas. Obviously, you got both. Obviously, like you said, in 5 sets, they easily could have gone the other way. Can this be sort of like a foundational weekend for the program, you think, where, you can build on this success against what's supposed to be a really good team and kind of carry that forward?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a big step for us in the right direction. And, we keep telling the team all week, hey, that was great, but we got to build on what we did. And but we can't just be complacent and just think about the win at Kansas, because we got TCU coming up. So we're focusing on TCU now. That was 2 big wins for us, for a program in the history of West Virginia volleyball. But that was last week. So now we're focusing on TCU, and we'll see what happens.
Next question's from Sam.
Coach, Brianna obviously had another great weekend, earned the Student Athlete of the Week from WVU. What about her play has impressed you so far this season?
She can score, she can score points for us. And she came up with a huge block in the 5th set when the score was 13-12, and they had a swing to tie, and she had a block to propel us to 14-12 instead of 13-13. So I thought that was a huge moment. And the next ball we served was an ace, and everyone's celebrating. But if she doesn't get that block, then you never know what's going to happen or what would have happened. And so, but her play over the weekend was really good. I thought she played a lot better Saturday than on Friday. Her numbers were still okay on Friday. She hit for a high percentage, but she didn't get as many kills. But Saturday, she just turned it on. And before the match, after the match on Friday, I said, hey, we need more out of you. I know you have a lot more. And she was a lot more dynamic on Saturday after a 5-setter. You would think it would be the opposite, but, she had a little bit more in her tank, and, she gave it all. So I'm happy with the way she played, and she definitely was one of the reasons why we won.
Next question will be from Ethan.
Hey, Coach, congrats again on the big wins over the weekend.
Thank you.
Did you notice a different energy with this team this week during practice? Like, was there more confidence?
Yeah, I mean, after you win, there's definitely more confidence. But you know, they're business as usual, and you know, I like their approach. So, you know, we can't be too high or be too low. You know, I thought after we played Kansas State and we lost two, the energy was still good when we practiced the following week. So I was happy with that. Normally, you know, you lose 2 5-setters, then the morale is way down and all that. But they picked it up, and I was pretty impressed with the way they carried themselves and how they played over the weekend.
And next question's from Kevin.
Rich, is there still a little bit of an edge between these two programs, given that Joe used to coach here? You know, there were a couple of transfers, or is that kind of receded now with the passing of a few seasons?
I don't know. I mean, you know, we take every team. I mean, there's no players left from when Joe was here. So I don't think anyone knows, you know? And so, you know, we're just taking it one game at a time and taking it like any other match that we play, you know? So to answer your question, I don't think there is, but you never know. So like I said, we're just taking this match as another match and another Big 12 match that, hey, we're at home and every time we step foot on the court, the goal is to win. So, you know, that's what we're trying to do.
And next question's from Andy. Go ahead.
Coach, congratulations, obviously, on the weekend. And
Thank
you kind of my question because you guys are playing at home, and with this momentum that you guys have, are you kind of upset that you don't get to do it in front of as many fans as you maybe could, or just playing at home in general give you some sort of advantage? I know it's TCU, but statistically, it's basically anybody's game.
Right. You know, it'd be nice to have fans. And, you know, when we go to play in Texas, I mean, they have 500. You know, I'm looking at Texas's attendance. It's like 1,200, 1,500. You know, it's nice to have a big crowd, but we got to deal with what we are dealt with and make sure that, you know, we're focusing on how we can get better and how we can improve every time we step foot on the court and play a match. So, you know, that's the focus. But, you know, hey, we wish we could have a lot of things, but whatever we have in front of us, that's what we got to deal with.
And next question is from Matthew.
So talking about this team's mentality, have you seen anything kind of different about this team or special as far as their resilience and fight that they've shown throughout a lot of the, you know, few matches that you've had so far? Is there anything special that you've seen from this team?
No, I mean, you know, we have our ups and downs, and, you know, every team has issues, but it just seems like when they need to really fight and get a point, they're all about it. So, you know, I'm like I said, I'm proud of our team and just the way they play. You know, they practice well, they get along well, and it's one of the best teams I've coached. So, you know, it's fun to coach them. It's fun to go to practice and, you know, because they want to learn, they want to get better, they want to compete hard, and they want to turn this program around, you know, and that's what we're here for. And you know, every day we're trying to make this program better.
And Sam, go ahead.
Coach, I want to talk about intangibles, if that's all right. So obviously the 2 5-set losses back to back, that's got to be a gut punch. And then all of a sudden, 1 week later, you're on the bus singing Country Roads on the way back. How has your team kind of, you know, rallied over the last 4 weeks, or 3 weeks, only 3 weeks, over the last several weeks, I should say, especially with the wacky schedule, I should say?
It's, you know, they like to compete, they like to play, and you know, the mission is to always get better, and like I said, to turn this program around. You know, they want to make the NCAA tournament, and they're just they're a fun group to coach. They work hard in the gym, and I don't think they let a lot of things bother them. Whereas in the past, if we had lost, it just kind of compound, something not so good happening over and over again. But I told them, I said, hey, you guys are that close. We could. It was a couple points here and there that could have turned the K-State match around, right? So, we're not far off, but they understand. Hey, when we step foot on the court, we can win, or anyone can beat us. I mean, it's that close of a margin where we got to be focused and mentally prepared, and physically fit too to get the whole package. So, they're, like I said, they've worked hard up until this point, and nothing's going to stop them now. I hope not, and especially COVID.
The next question is from Ethan.
Hey, Coach. So after Kansas State, I forget which game it was, but you mentioned that the defense needs to improve. Personally, I think the defense has been spectacular ever since you've brought that up. Is there anything about TCU that's concerning to you guys as you is there anything concerning about TCU that can give you problems this week when you're returning?
Yeah, they're good. They return a lot of players. They run a faster offense than we've seen in the past. So that's concerning. Our defense needs to step up. Our blockers, first and foremost, because they're the front line. And then after the ball passes the block, then our back row defense has to step up. So, defense wins games and championships. So we got to step that part up. And, the other thing is our serving. I thought the first night at Kansas, our serving was really good. And then the second night, it was almost flipped where we had 14 service errors, I think we ended up with. So that's a lot, but at the same time, we're trying to be a lot more aggressive serving. And if we can get them out of system, then hopefully that makes it a little easier on our defense.
And we'll go back to Kevin.
Two final ones, Coach. First, with football opening up, do you have any hope that maybe your two November home matches, can get some fans in? And second, this is a little bit different kind of season, obviously. Do you still look at the Big 12 standings? Or are you still saying, hey, we've got a chance, a goal of third, fourth, fifth, even with the conference championships and those things all kind of up in the air? Do you still pay attention to those?
For sure. I mean, that's basically what we look at every week, right? Where we stand. And, I don't know if we've ever been in a situation where after, 6 matches, we've been 3-3. So, I think that's a good start for us, but the schedule just gets harder and harder, and, it never ends in the Big 12. So, we gotta get those wins whenever we can, and just keep playing consistently. But to answer your first question, it'd be nice to have fans in the Coliseum, and even if it's our normal attendance, which is probably close to 1,000, it'd be nice to have a crowd and that can enjoy the games, because I think it's great that we're playing, and I think we're playing at a pretty good level right now.
Any discussions on that yet, or is that still, kind of, a little bit away in terms of having those discussions for the November matches?
Yeah, I think they're going to see what football does and how football does it, and what comes up, about it. And then they're going to make decisions after that. So I don't make those decisions. I wish I did, but, it's the higher ups. And, I trust what they do. So we'll just wait and see.
And then next question is from Cody.
So something that Neil Brown's been saying a lot this season is, before West Virginia can beat other people, West Virginia has to not beat itself. And just listening to you talk today, it seems like you're kind of touching on that same sort of sentiment. Are you finding, a similar thing this season?
Yeah, for sure. And our captain, Audrey Adams, mentioned that from day one. She said, hey, anyone can beat us, but we can't beat ourselves. And we gotta take care of the ball. We gotta make sure that we give us as many opportunities as possible for us to score points and how to score points. So, we definitely need to. I think we're talented enough to beat teams, but also if we don't play the way we can, we're going to get beat. So, and that's the message every day in practice. Like, hey, we got to practice the way we want to play, not just practice to practice.
And we'll go back to Ethan.
This is a point off of Kevin, but has there been any talk about postseason as of late, or has it been stalled?
There's been talk about postseason, which will be in the spring, but nothing's confirmed or finalized. Right now it's just talk, and hopefully we can play, and we'll see what happens with the other teams playing in the spring. Starting in January, like the Big Ten and the Pac-12 and all that stuff. And I think the SEC is playing half the season now and then half the season later on. So we'll see how that develops, and then we're gonna play too, but more regional stuff. And I don't know how this is all gonna play out, but I'm hoping that we can have a postseason.